Hello, Thursday, March 16th, and it's all kinds of things going on. The banking markets are all over the place. Um, the Fed closed, took over, put it that way, took over $309 billion worth of banks, two banks. Let me turn down our friends at Fox. There we go. Can't hear myself think with all this activity. Ooh. So, uh, okay. All right, let's see what my blood sugar is. It's checking some of these. Yeah, so 170. Okay. I took 3 units about an hour ago. I should start coming down. You can see my graph. Whoops. There we go. You can see it now. I move this thing out of the way. 170. And the arrow is this way, meaning it's not going up anymore. And you can see the graph. I think I can do that here. Oops. Oh, there it is. In miniature form. So there's a called link up, Libre link up. You can see it up in the top there. And Libre. And if I give you my login, then you can see my blood sugar anytime, day or night. I gave it to Marilyn. I don't think she's actually logged in. Um, but your doctor can see your blood sugar if he wants to take a look. Um, there's some wonderful features with this app, which I'll share with you. Move this out of the way so I can see what I'm looking at. There we go. So I go up in the corner and I hit daily patterns. So over the last 7 days, you can see it goes up, but you see that white line is smoothing out. Till 30 days, you see it was a little more abrupt. So 30 days ago, 15 days ago, I wasn't taking any insulin. I wasn't taking any pressure, blood sugar medicine whatsoever. They had me on, um, a tablet, 3 tablets a day. You know what, doc? I don't want to do this tablet stuff anymore. I think I just do insulin. It's a natural, it's a thing that the body makes, and it's have an injectable form. I'm using. Oh, I'm going to show you this the other day. Double pen echo, but I see in the corner there, Novo Nordisk. It's an international company. Turn in this corner. Insurance pay for it. It's like paying for Gillette, paying for the shaver. The trick is you got to buy the blades. Well, it's the same thing. You have to use the. I'm using the U.S. Um, Novolog, 100 units per milliliter. You get yes, you prescribe prescription. See, this is Novopen Echo insulin device, which is what the 7 refills left. I can get 7 more pens. It's nuts. Doctor's offices too busy. They're supposed to have a bunch of refills on the insulin, but I think I'll get another pen just for safety's sake. Check. Uh, since we have Libra is showing over there. The other thing I wanted to show you, I can't. It doesn't. There, the time in range. See the back. Over the last 30 days, you can see 88% in range. Over the last 7 days, with um, proper care with the insulin, I've increased my time in range to 94%, and the time above range is now only 6, and above 250 is 0. So that's important. That would lead a prescriber to saying, Jimmy's doing the insulin right. It's never been below, 54 to 69. So I took 3 units before lunch, and it's leveling off around 162. I had a pasta, my favorite pasta with my favorite sauce, a huge bowl of it. No portion control. God, just not doing it yet. Oh, you got to gain some weight. It's designed for use with the pen fill 3 millimeter cartridge, and so that guy has I have 2 pens. You got to have one, and then you have one for a backup, and comes with a nice, beautifully um, crafted, uh, nice images. Always carry a spare pen. There it is, page 1. Extra insulin of the same type, also, and new needles in case you damage the other pen. So, and it shows you how to insert the cartridge, which is extremely simple. You just take the pen apart, slip it in, and then it shows you how to screw on the needle on the front. Because the front end of the cartridge is threaded, and the needle itself is threaded. So you screw the needle, so you push. In the cartridge, there's a rubber cap on there with metal. So if you're drawing insulin out of that, a separate uh, injector syringe, you'd have to push the needle up into the cartridge and then pull it out. So on the right side of the needle, there's actually a needle syringe that goes into the cartridge when you're screwing it. Whoops, sorry. And then the other end of the needle is what you inject yourself with, and you just dial how many units you want. I had a little trouble getting the prime today for some reason. Set it to, I couldn't get it to set it on two, and again you get it to it produces a, it primes the needle and gets, you know, so you got to set that to two, and then you push the end in, and there's a little squirt, so that way the needle is, there's no air in there and so forth. Because when you set it to one, two, 2.5, 3 units, you get the right dose. If the needle's not primed, you may not get a dose. It may take you 3 units to get the needle primed. Say it's two, and it's always been two. I tried one. I tried 1.5, and it wouldn't do it. I set it to two. So these guys know what they're talking about. But I'm going to call them because I can't find anywhere where they have the Novo Plus. There's their phone number right there. First time I'm seeing it in the middle. Let's just highlight the over right here. So I'm going to call the main office, the main USA office for Novo, the Novo Pen Echo. Novo Nordisk, you know, makes the insulin, they make the cartridges, they make the pens. They have 3 or 4 different styles of pens. These guys are, you know, they know what they're doing. Anyway, so oh, here's the, see here you can see, you know, that's a plunger piston. So when you push that thing in for 2, 3, 10, whatever the units are you're taking, I'm in the 2, 3 range. I've never taken more than 3 units for, lunch, so we don't start to make the curve on that. I don't want it to get over 180. 20 minutes or so for the insulin to circulate around in your bloodstream. So on the end of the pen, it'll tell you how much you injected last, the previous. It tells you also the number of hours ago you did, because it clips off where it's gray and not gray. See if you, oh, look at that. There you go. This is 5.5. And it's got 3 bars lit up. Each bar is an hour. About 3 hours ago, I had 5.5 minutes, in the pictorial here. So see, there's where you set it to 2, and then push it in, and you get the little squirt. And if you don't get the little squirt, you do it again. Did it a couple times, and so then I set it to 3. Saw it work. So now I knew the needle was primed, and then hopefully I got 2 units or 3 units. Uh, so I don't know whether the needle was not quite right or what, but nice, nice booklet. Shows you how you push the button in. So what I learned actually in university time, how to give an injection. I don't know why I learned how to give. It was some advanced biology class because I was a med student. So we practiced this on oranges. They said an orange skin, according to this guy, you know, is very similar to human skin. So you have to learn how to give an injection. And basically, when you're giving an injection to like someone else, and or whatever, want to use a little thrust. You know, the needle is very short, it's 4 millimeters in length, a little longer than 10, and uh, head comes up pretty good. But that's probably 3 millimeters. The needles I have are 4 millimeter needles that are made for this pen. You just screw them on, purge them, and then give yourself a dose. So you want to, when you inject yourself, I don't hold it like this. you just, it's not that tough. So I just hold between two fingers, finger on the top of it, and just jab it in there. It'll only go so far. It's not like it's going to go rupture your stomach or anything. You're not trying to. The needle is very short. It's only a 4 millimeter needle. They have the choice 4, 5, 6, 7. I think it goes up to 12 millimeters. No, I don't know why anyone would want that long a needle. So I have 4, which is as short as it goes. I should try 5 just for the heck of it. So anyway, it's my first week of it's insulin taking. It's 8 or 9 days. So that's my insulin story. I didn't really get into an insulin story, but that's what I'm into. I'll tell you what I'm into. So let's uh, TD Ameritrade. You got my face through the through the camera's right over here where it gets into your face, and I look through this space right here, and it whatever it does, it did it. All right, so SPCF, that's Maryland Bank, jolting up to 26. And I bought a few shares this week. Uh, we already had a few shares, and now we have a few shares times two. So you might as well bet on your wife's bank, right? She does a good job there. And I've referred to them, my favorite customer, over my 20 years in banking. This customer has been in business for like 45 years in the city of Fort Lauderdale. There's not many companies that have been in business for 45 years in Fort Lauderdale. But he's one of them, and he makes money. And he's a chemical engineer. I'm a biochemist, pre-med biochemist. I was a chemist, physical chemistry, and all that. But I had an epiphany and decided, let's be a pre-med student. So I had to load up on a bunch of biology classes, which I never took. Other than uh, I took a couple of classes, but they were advanced classes in biology, and cryptogamic botany, and so I didn't take the basic biology. And for a pre-med program, you got to have some basic biology. So I took a basic class, and I had to take 24 hours of 24 hours of biology classes. So I ended up with a BA/BS degree, 147 hours. because I had a double major, being a pre-med student. So it took me an extra year in college, and what the heck? And then I didn't go to med school. I took the MCAT test and just killed it. It was a very high score, and I got the top. I was in the top 5 or 10 scores in the state of Kentucky, where Union College resides, and it was entitled to some scholarship money and all this, and I forewent it. It went foregone because I was engaged to, uh, a young lady who's I was a young guy and she was a young lady, and her father was a doctor, and she says, "Jimmy, I don't want you to be a doctor. I don't know who my father's a doctor, and I don't know who my father is. So I don't want to be the wife that doesn't know who his husband is." So I said, "Well, yeah, so she dumped me." She was convinced that wasn't going to change my career path. Uh, and I think if she gave me the threat, uh, if she threatened me, I might have acquiesced because I didn't end up going to medical school anyway. But I didn't like the fact that she threatened me. What the heck? When you're supposedly engaged in getting married, you don't, you shouldn't be threatened. Yeah, jeez. I got threatened. Yeah, what we got here? Shipment is out with a courier. Um, I didn't know if my doctor was going to, for some reason or other, the insulin device is useless unless you get the insulin cartridges, right? How silly is that? Yeah, there you go. So in the state of Florida, at least, you gotta have a prescription for this thing, and doesn't have any needles, doesn't have any cartridge. It's just a pen. It's empty. It's just like that. You can't do anything with it unless you have the needles, which you can buy without a prescription. How crazy is that? But the insulin, no, you got to have a prescription for the stuff that you inject yourself with. So I bought this. I'm going to have more cartridges. I'm getting a DHL Express. What do you call it? The United Kingdom leads today, and I think it's two more of these, spare and an extra. I only have two, so now I get two more. I'll have four. All right, what are you gonna do? I don't have to worry about faulty pen. So I'll have three extras. Yeah. Oh well, it won't go bad. I don't know, I suppose. And I'm being appreciative of this. Oh, that's nice. I Well, stock is going up in value. Nice. Yep, got a little capital gain there. But shit, I haven't sold it yet, but and I'm not going to sell it. I mean, it's not a big deal. But they're trading already a million three shares. Time is it? It's 1 o'clock. Yeah, stock is doing well. There's the time 110.21, 0.22, 0.23. I see the last digit because the cropping of the picture, but 110 in 30 seconds. And this is going to go to 40. Bingo. Excuse me. So let's go to this. So I'm going to go settings on this little thing right here. Can't see the screen I'm looking at. And we're going to do crop split. Click it. There we go. See, now you can see 11, 12, 14. That's seconds, obviously. John Kennedy, Louisiana senator, is remarking about how ridiculous it is that Germany is not paying their. They're supposed to provide to the UN 2% of their annual economy uh, in order for the UN to provide a defense to all the members of the United Nations. And Germany's not fessing up. Now, when Trump was president, he used to bang on bang on her head until she, wrote a check. It's actually a big wire. Yeah, it's hundreds of millions of dollars. Uh, and all the participating nations, they need to fess up with a couple percent of their, I think it is two, of their economy annually into the budget of the United Nations in order for all the member nations to, you know, gang up together and protect themselves against anybody that's aggressing them. Now, um, all kinds of stuff going on. I'm looking up at the TV up and it's the husband of a Microsoft executive, and he's indicted for stealing money. Anyway, they grabbed him in Kissimmee, Florida. Jeez. All right. What's going on with SpaceX? First, Artemis spacesuits to be worn on the moon will not return to Earth. There's a headline. If you don't have the comma in the right place. What? It'll stay in orbit indefinitely. Spacesuits, got a tail on it. These guys done it. Yeah, have you seen the spacesuits that SpaceX people created? It's really they're quite attractive. You've probably seen them because they've used these suits because SpaceX was hired under contract to take space people up to the space station. So now your Timius, that's like the NASA people. They've created a spacesuit since they haven't designed a spacesuit in 30, 40 years. Now they redesigned their spacesuit and they're black instead of white for whatever reason. So the NASA people are basically parading the suit in front of a bunch of government officials and Jim Stein, the chief engineer for the extravehicular activity systems for the Axiom Space program, models the prototype spacesuit that NASA astronauts will wear during, when they get launched into space. And I think their first mission is to go to the moon and then come back with the idea that this practice mission to the moon so they get ready for what they're going to do when they go to Mars. So they'll practice on the moon. When they go to Mars, they'll be practiced. Gravity environment, will be, I think, a little stronger on Mars than the moon because Mars is bigger than the moon, and it would make sense that the gravity um, has a stronger pull, but not big enough gravity to well, it has an atmosphere of carbon dioxide. How nice is that? We breathe that, we choke. Carbon dioxide is something that makes you choke. It wouldn't be good if you're so you got to wear a spacesuit and that's you need an oxygen atmosphere. Oxygen and nitrogen is fine, but not oxygen and CO2 or CO2 by itself. So if you were to leave your spacesuit, so, you better hold your breath so you don't choke. Now you may explode. Your suit needs to be pressurized. Whatever. Anyway, I think the SpaceX spacesuits that were utilized with the Dragon system. Let's see if we have a spacesuit from Dragon. Crew Dragon. Falcon rockets. I was hoping to give you. Uh, uh, yeah. Uh, you think they'd have the spacesuits right there around you. Anyway, SpaceX. See, there's the suits. Oops. Can you see it? Damn. Oh, crap. Here. T minus 31 seconds, and this thing's going to blast off. This is a 28.7. This is an actual SpaceX launch, I believe. I don't know if this is alive. Anyway, this arm should move away pretty soon. It has to let go of the spacecraft. Booster. There you go. We got all the. There it goes. It's amazing, huh? Those engines are riveting. The shock wave that they produce. Right here it tells you the way here, how many kilometers it is, how many thousand meters it is. It's when this gets up to around 675 miles an hour, you're gonna hear there's no audio. Oh, here you go.
M1D throttle down. We're throttling down to get ready for the period of
Max
maximum
Q.
dynamic pressure.
That's when it breaks through.
We're in the throttle bucket. Reports say all systems are go.
So you're right around 1 minute it goes. Whoops.
Introducing the new Raton, world's largest downtown. At its heart, Boca. Experience the new horizon. New Raton.
Okay.
Vehicle is
Supersonic.
Mach 1 on the
These
Falcon
are,
9.
yes, it's traveling faster than the speed of sound.
M1D throttle up.
Now it's throttling back up again.
Throttling back up to full power as we're through max Q.
1,500 miles an hour, 1,600 kilometers. That's not miles per hour.
Pulling about 2.3 Gs, 2.3 times the Earth's gravity, already moving at over 1,500 miles per hour.
Call out for MVAC engine chill. That's getting the
Look at
MVAC engine ready to light. That'll come at about 2:44 in the
There are
flight.
nine
Right now, everything continuing to look good.
Merlin engines.
Next major event coming up, be the triple. We'll have
8 with one in the middle.
of the 9 first stage engine separation, and then ignition of the second stage engine to continue to carry astronauts into orbit. Coming up in about 20 seconds. M1D throttle down.
It saves some fuel because it's going to land itself, remember?
First stage.
And you see this break off. It holds the first stage to the second stage. And you
And we
watch
have Miko.
main entry cutoff. And now that has severed itself from the rest of the spaceship. And then this engine is going to throw up. This is the second stage engine.
All right, we have stage separation confirmed. The first stage beginning its flight back.
Universal's Mardi Gras is back.
Anyway, so we'll pause there for a little SpaceX. It's great. Ooh. You really embarrassed NASA quite a bit. Where do black holes go? That is a phenomenon. It's huge. We've seen them on Star Trek 50 years ago. I love Star Trek. They made about 110 episodes. I'm going to copy this front screen. Looks like a nice animation. Black hole would look like, so to speak, if you were to stand next to it in the vacuum of space. See, there's a sun. You get an idea, how big a black hole is. It's rather large. And they got theories about these things. So this is it's a space.com / where do black holes lead .html. All right, the black hole. Speed reading here. It leads to these three ladies. I don't think so. So ever since Albert Einstein general theory of relativity was considering and predictive of black holes, linking space and time and gravity, it's been known that black holes result from the death of a massive star, leaving behind a small, dense remnant core. And so the black hole is something into which you would get sucked into if you got close to it. So you have to stay a little away from it. And then you got wormholes, and I mean, you got all time, and all these things are, I would say, massive perversions of the space-time continuum. Since I don't know what to say about it exactly, um, and they keep, the science of interstellar, in 2014, wrote things about journeys through these theoretical tunnels, if you could survive it, or if anything could survive it. A black hole may just suck you all apart and absorb the energy that you've donated. There's a picture, nearby star, black hole, gravity jet. Anyway, so um, I don't know. In the vacuum of space, I would think that a black hole is something to stay away from. That just oh, here's another picture of a black hole. Let's see if I can do the expando vision. Where to go? All right, apparently that doesn't work. So forget that. I'll just do what I did before. Do a big expander. Do a print screen. They won't let me do a, you know, a traditional, press and save the photo. So I'll do the print screen, I guess. Oh, save the photos. All right, I got it. Maybe a black hole leads to a white hole. There's the headline there. Oh my goodness. Forget that. stays up there, I'm going to have to give myself another little shot of insulin. I have a feeling that needle isn't any good. And, I've been on the air for 46 minutes. If you don't mind, I think I'll connect back with you a little later. For sure, tomorrow. So we'll finish out today. And you guys have a great afternoon. See you tomorrow.